Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for another home organization marathon. In these videos, I share hours worth of unique organization ideas from Dollar Tree to Amazon to the Container Store. I try it all and I let you know what works and what doesn't. My family and I live in a small home, although it's hard to tell from our new open concept renovated kitchen. But even with this new updated space, I still strive to provide ideas for those of you who lack storage and you're looking for ways to maximize whatever space you have to work with. I hope that you enjoy this video and it gives you some ideas or even just some inspiration to tackle some organization in your own home. I share new organization videos every week here on my channel, so if you enjoy this one, be sure to subscribe and come back every Wednesday for another one. Now let's just jump right into it. Alright guys, we are back with another small kitchen organization video, and this week we are focusing on the Dollar Tree. I'm so excited for this video because I've actually never done a Dollar Tree organization on my channel. You guys know I love Amazon, I love Target, I love the Container Store, but that's not in everybody's budget. So I'm excited to bring you something a little bit different. I had to think more outside the box for this video, get a little bit creative because they just don't have the same selection you would find at the other stores. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you enjoy this video. If you enjoy small kitchen organization videos or just organization videos in general, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I post a new one every single week, and let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so these are all the things that I picked up at my Dollar Tree. I had no idea that they sold craft wood and wood pieces like this, so I'm really excited to do some DIYs with those. And then I also picked up some glass containers. I got these mop and broom holders, which we're gonna try a couple of different things with, and then I picked up some napkin holders, which I think I have an idea for. I've got some cute little containers, a bunch of different sized bins. This is meant to be a wall mount wire rack, but I have an idea for that as well. These items right here actually came from Lowe's, and that's because my Dollar Tree did not have them in stock, but these look identical to the ones that are available at Dollar Tree. So if you guys have those, be sure to pick them up because for some reason they weren't at mine. So I don't know if they're maybe like a hot commodity and that's why they were sold out. But anyway, I had to pay more to get them at Lowe's, but they look pretty much exactly the same. So we're just gonna pretend that those are from Dollar Tree as well. And then these I got from Michael's. I just needed some more hot glue for some of the things we're going to be doing today. These wooden dowels I may not end up using, but I got them just in case. And then this is actually just a piece of wood we use to keep our sliding door closed, but I have an idea for that as well. So again, this is just an overview of everything we're going to be using today to organize. I have shown you guys so many different under the sink organization ideas in the past, and my current system, which you can see here, is actually working really well for me, but I wanted to give you guys some ideas from the Dollar Tree. So I thought that what I would do is take apart everything I have under there and reorganize it using only things from the Dollar Tree. So we're starting off strong here with something that did not really work out for me, and that's not because the idea doesn't work, it's because I just didn't have everything that I needed. So these are mop and broom holders from the Dollar Tree. I first tried to cut them with scissors and it wasn't working, so I pulled out a razor, I scored them, and I cut them in half. So I had two separate pieces, and my idea was to stick them up underneath my kitchen sink and then put a wooden dowel between them so that I could hang my cleaning products. I think this could work really well if you have the proper size wooden dowel. Also, just a tip, be sure to invert your holders as shown on the screen here. Otherwise, the dowel will fall out with too much weight, so just slide it through those. Moving on, we're going to use this shelf riser, which again, this one is from Lowe's, but it's identical to the one that is available on Dollar Tree. And I love shelf risers. I use them all the time. and I like to use them because they help to utilize vertical space, which you guys hear me say all the time. And I'm just sticking another bin from the Dollar Tree on top of that. It's not necessary to do this, but I just like to do that when I'm sticking cleaning products together, so that way if I'm looking for something, I can just pull the whole bin out instead of having to dig around and potentially knock things over. But then I'm also grabbing this glass jar from the Dollar Tree and I'm filling this up with my dishwasher tablets. And for the bottom part of the shelf riser, I am putting my extra sponges, scrub daddies, magic erasers, the pink stuff, a brush, things like that, and that will fit perfectly underneath the shelf riser. And again, this bin on top is not necessary, but I just like it because I feel like I'm more likely to knock things over when I'm digging around for something than I am if I'm picking up a whole bin, grabbing what I need, and then putting it back. But now I'm going to show you my idea for this step shelf. I love using step shelves like this in my kitchen, and my idea for this was to put 3 bins on it and have 3 separate tiers for things to go underneath your sink. And I figured you could hot glue them to the step shelf and then they won't go anywhere. But I didn't want to hot glue mine, so I'm showing you guys that you can put 3 right here if you really wanted to and hot glue them to keep them in place. But I ended up just doing 2 tiers and that worked out perfectly fine for me. And again, adding bins like these on top is not necessary. I just prefer it because I feel like it's easier to grab a bin. Like I said, also it adds just a little bit extra support for the things that you're putting onto this wire shelf because they could just fall through if they're not standing up perfectly, and these bins just help prevent that. This whole under the sink organization would cost you $8.75 to use all the products that I'm showing you guys here, and I think it turned out really, really nice, and it's utilizing the vertical space under your sink, and it was done on a budget. You guys know I love using the inside of cabinet doors in my organization videos, so I wanted to show you just an example with a wooden dowel and those 2 mop and broom holders. You could also stick them on the inside of your cabinet door and you can hang your cleaning supplies this way. So also this is a better visual of what I was trying to do at the top of my kitchen sink, but it just didn't work out. We're just going to pretend that that bin is not there underneath them. I didn't want to take it off since I'm not planning to leave it like this. I like the system I'm currently using. I found this wire rack with hooks in like the tools section of Dollar Tree, so I think it's meant for, I don't know, a garage, organizing tools, or maybe you can hang your keys on it by your front door. But my idea for this was to, again, put this on the inside of a cabinet door, and I'm using command hooks to install mine because I don't want to drill into my cabinets. But it does come with hardware, so if you'd prefer to install it that way, you can do that as well. But I like this for the inside of cabinet doors. In this case, I'm hanging some of my cleaning supplies, like cleaning brushes and things like that from it. And this would be another option for inside of the cabinet door under your sink. I think this would work out really well. And then another idea I had thought of for this was to put it on the back wall of your kitchen, like on your backsplash. So again, I'm using command hooks to hang it up, and I'm putting some of my cooking utensils here, things that I grab all the time when I'm cooking. And this would be helpful to get things off of your countertop and just save you a little bit of counter space if you are working with a very small kitchen. I also thought that you could hang your measuring cups and spoons from this as well, so I wanted to share that example. I love the idea of hanging baskets in your kitchen, so this bin from the Dollar Tree is perfect for that. It's a really good size. If it were me, I'd probably put 2, one on top of the other, just for additional space, but you could store anything that you want in this. In this case, I showed you putting spices in it, but you could put your cooking utensils in here instead of hanging them from those other hooks. There's just so many different things you could do with a bin hanging in your kitchen if you were lacking cabinet space. I tried to not watch anybody else's Dollar Tree organization videos before I went to the store. I wanted to go in there with a blank slate and just find things on my own, but I have seen this DIY before. So full disclosure, I'm not the first person to come up with this idea. I've seen it before and I think it's really cute. It's also really easy and it was just kind of fun to do. So for this one, you'll need a hot glue gun, and then you'll need these wooden crates that they sell at Dollar Tree along with 2 pieces of their craft wood. It is pretty self-explanatory how to do this if you're watching the video. So you're just going to kind of angle your bin down so that will create some support, and then you're going to do as many tiers as you want. In this case, I did 3 tiers, and I love doing things like this that are multiple tiers because that helps again to use that vertical space. You could also use hardware to build this if you wanted to, but I just use a hot glue gun and mine has been holding up perfectly fine. And I prefer the natural wood look, but if you like to paint things or if you like to stain things, you could do that with this. I've seen plenty of people do that and it turned out great and adorable. I think it looks good as is. But I'm sticking, again, my spices in here just as an example. But I also thought while I was doing this that this would be awesome in your bathroom. So I'm going to show you guys that example in a minute as well. If you have like a lot of serums, or you need to get your toothpaste off the counter, or you just have a lot of items in your bathroom and you don't have a lot of storage space, this would be perfect for that. So it's great for the kitchen, it's great for the bathroom, and it will only cost you $6.25 to make, assuming you have a hot glue gun or hardware already ready to go. Kind of piggybacking off of that last DIY, I saw they had some hanging wood pieces and I felt like I could use those to create something you could hang in your kitchen, whether you use it in your pantry or you could hang it on that back kitchen wall similar to the basket, and you could add some additional storage space. So I'm just hot gluing on 2 of the longer, wider bins onto this, and my example that I showed you was putting some pantry items on there, but you could really store whatever you want in here, assuming that it's not too heavy that it will break it. But I really liked this idea and I feel like you could get pretty creative with this one as well. I would love for you guys to leave a comment down below letting me know what is your all-time favorite Dollar Tree hack. Like I said, I don't go to Dollar Tree very often, so I would love for you to let me know what are your favorite items from Dollar Tree, or what are your favorite DIYs you've seen from Dollar Tree, and maybe I will include them in a future video. So these bins come in a bunch of different sizes, and I really like these because they're grippy on the bottom, so they're non-slip, and then they also have grip on the inside. So for $1.25, this is a really, really good deal. I like these bins a lot, and I'm going to try to assemble them in this drawer to section the drawer out to organize like different cooking utensils and things like that. This kind of took me a minute to figure out which way I wanted to put the bins into this drawer, just which way they would fit best. It's kind of a struggle, but I like these bins because, again, they have the grips on the bottoms, so even if they're not perfectly in your drawer, taking up all of the space, they will not move around. But I decided to add a couple of other bins as well that I had that would fit in there just to fill the space out a little bit better. I think of all the items that I bought at the Dollar Tree, these bins are probably the best quality. They're just so sturdy. Again, I love that they have the grips on the bottoms and on the insides. So if you are looking for bins like these, I would definitely recommend these over anything you buy on Amazon. Something else that I've kind of seen floating around with Dollar Tree organization is to take one of these step shelves and you break off the legs, and then you can put it in your drawer upside down. Mine obviously won't close because I did not break the legs off, but you can put it in upside down and then you can use it to organize spices. So you can see them all laying flat, and you'd have multiple tiers. So I think this is a really good idea. I'm not going to break the legs off of my step shelf, but in case you guys needed a drawer idea for your spices to organize them, this is a good one, and this would fit quite a few. You can even put some on the front. I didn't, but you can put some on the front as well. And if I did break the legs off, I would still be able to close my drawer. But I feel like they make products just like this that they sell on Amazon that's meant to go in your drawer and organize your spices in this way, but they're much more pricey. So this is a great cost savings if you're looking for something like that. I have something very similar to the step shelf, but mine just isn't wire, and I think I got this from Home Goods, and I organized all these spices in a kitchen organization video a while ago. If I can find that one, I will link it in the cards right here, but you can use this for the exact same thing, and it's just a really good way to utilize your space in your pantry or in your countertop if that's where you prefer to store your spices. You can see them better this way and nothing gets lost. You don't have to dig around, and you also don't need to have special containers in order to use something like this. You can just use whatever containers your spices came in, and they're totally fine that way. They don't need to all match in order to fit onto the spice rack. So this obviously is a lot cheaper than the one that I have. So $1.25 for this is a really good price, especially considering you can use it a multitude of ways. You can use it to organize spices, you can use it to organize vitamins, you can use it to just organize cans in your pantry, really anything. I've also used mine in the past in my husband's like protein cabinet to organize some of his things. So this is a very versatile product for only $1.25. This next idea is to take the napkin holders at the Dollar Tree, and you can either zip tie them together really tightly or you can hot glue them. I'm hot gluing mine in this case. I only bought 2 of them to show you this example, but this would work best if you bought a bunch of them and kind of line them up. So the thing that I'm going to show you using these for is either your pots and pan lids. This would be a good way to store those so they're stored vertically and you can grab them easily. And then the other thing that I thought of was if you needed storage for things like bakeware. So I'm putting my wire racks in there and then a muffin tin. And I have bought organizers like this in the past and they were pretty pricey. So for $1.25 for each napkin holder, this is definitely a good deal. I have completely torn apart my kitchen for this video. We are all done. These are all the organization ideas I was able to come up with all the things I was able to find at my Dollar Tree. Again, my Dollar Tree is kind of a limited selection. It's kind of small. I don't really have a good Dollar Tree anywhere around me, so I made the best out of what I was able to find, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas. I think my personal favorite of all these ideas was this 3-tiered shelf. I think it's so adorable. I like mine just natural, but you could paint this, you could stain it, you could do a bunch of different things with this. It's really versatile. You can use it all over your house. My son actually already claimed this one because he wants to organize his football cards in it. So I think it's actually the perfect size for that. So he's going to be really excited when he gets home from school that he can have it now that I'm all set. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel and you enjoy organization videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and turn your notification bells on so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I do upload a new video every single Wednesday, so make sure you check back here on Wednesdays if you're looking for some new ideas. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back again next week for another video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel for another video. This is the first video in my new small kitchen organization series where I'm going to be going store to store to try and find the best of the best organization products to share with all of you to help you organize your small kitchens and maximize your space the best that you can. So this week we are starting off with Amazon. I scoured Amazon to try and find the best organization products and also keep a budget in mind for those of you who aren't looking to spend a lot of money to organize your kitchen. We recently renovated our kitchen, so ours is not super small anymore, But I love the challenge of trying to figure out how to make a small space work. I have enjoyed making small kitchen organization videos for years here on my channel. So everything that I'm doing in today's video is still with a small space in mind, trying to just, again, help you maximize the space that you have to work with and teach you tips and tricks that I have learned along the way. I am not a professional, I'm just a mom doing her best. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel. I post new organization videos every single week, and let's get into it. So the first product that we're talking about is this under shelf spice organizer from Joseph Joseph. This brand in general is so good. They have a ton of different unique organization products that you can shop on Amazon. This spice organizer I have talked about before, but this one is a tad bit bigger than the one that I had. It holds 7 spices instead of 6. It's renter friendly because you can install it using just the adhesive strip, and it's secure. And like I said, I had one of these in the past and it didn't damage anything when I removed it. I love this spice organizer because it's using a small portion of space at the top of your cabinet that you may otherwise not be using for anything. And when it comes to a small space, I am all about utilizing that vertical space. You'll hear me say that a lot throughout this video. This is $14.99 on Amazon right now as I'm filming, which is a great deal in my opinion. And the cool thing about this is it will fit most standard size spices, so you don't need to take that extra step or spend that extra money to buy special spice containers that all match. If you don't have a ton of counter space, getting your paper towel holder off the counter is a very simple and affordable way to free up space. There are a ton of different options for paper towel holders for underneath your cabinet, but I like this one because it had, first of all, a few different color options, but second, you can install this either using a really strong adhesive, which makes it renter friendly, or you can install it with the included screws. I installed mine using the adhesive, and I did that because I wanted to test it out for you guys to let you know how it's holding up before you go ahead and purchase. And so far, I'm happy to report it has been great. It's not budging at all, and I don't anticipate it's going to fall down at any point. It feels very secure. So again, this is a renter-friendly option, and this just helps to free up some counter space. You guys have been telling me for years to get one of these, and I can't believe it took me so long. Back when we lived in our apartment and our counter space was so limited, this definitely would have helped us just save that much more space. So here we have another Joseph Joseph product, and I'm really excited to share this one. This is a 2-tier Lazy Susan type turntable. It's really easy to put together. It takes a minute tops and requires no tools. I like this for a small space because if you're somebody who's maybe lacking cabinet storage space and you keep a lot on your countertops, this will help you to once again utilize your vertical space to its maximum potential. There's so much room on here. I wanted to show you guys just some ideas of how I might use it. So I stuck my salt and pepper shakers, my olive oil, avocado oil. I threw some spices on there as well to just show you the possibilities. But whatever you typically reach for the most often, whatever you're finding yourself leaving on your countertops, this could be a great way to organize that. Maybe you keep your vitamins out even. This just has so many possibilities, and it fits nicely underneath my cabinets, even with some really tall things on it. This is $22.99 on Amazon right now, so it's a little bit pricier than some of the other items, but it's really good, sturdy, quality material, and I like that it's a Lazy Susan turntable as well. You can see here I have a couple of other Lazy Susans in my house, and I really like those for small spaces. This item here I thought was really cool. It comes in a 2-pack for $12.99, which is a good deal. It's another renter-friendly option because it's adhesive. And this is a good way to, again, get some things off your countertop and just free up a little bit of space. So what you're going to do is use the included adhesive to stick this right underneath your upper cabinets, and then you can hook whatever you want to it. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples. I was hanging some kitchen utensils like wooden spoons, tongs, kitchen scissors, a whisk, things that you typically would put on your counter in a utensils container to grab when you're cooking. It sticks on really, really secure, and you can spin it around to grab whatever it is that you're trying to get. And again, this comes in a 2-pack, so you could hang up 2 of them right next to each other and have so much space to hang some things that otherwise would be cluttering up your countertops. Another thing I thought that I might hang from these would be measuring cups and measuring spoons. So I showed you guys that example as well, but there's so many uses for this product. This product is similar to the Joseph undershelf spice organizer, but it is an undershelf organizer with dividers. This would be good in your pantry if you have one, or if you use a cabinet as your pantry. This could help to utilize space that may otherwise go to waste. My upper cabinets were unfortunately not deep enough for me to fit this, so definitely check your dimensions before you order it to make sure that it'll fit. But this is great because it's also renter friendly with the adhesive once again, so no drilling is required, and I like that it has dividers so whatever you're placing in it isn't just floating around and becoming a mess. My first thought or my first instinct was to organize tea in here. The little sections are the perfect size to fit standard size individual tea bags. But another thought that I had was potentially using this as like a utility drawer. So if you don't have a drawer available for that anywhere else in your kitchen, you can stick those odds and ends in here in all the different sections. You could use this maybe to store snack size things. It has just a ton of potential. And something else I really like about it is that when you open it up, it will lean down so you can see whatever is in it as well. This is one of the more pricey items in this video. This one is $31.99, but if you have the space for it or if you have the need for it, this is a really good product to help you save some space. I have used these in the past and I just love them. They're along the same lines, trying to just make use of space that may otherwise not be utilized. These come in a 4-pack and they slide right underneath your shelf inside of your cabinet for just some additional storage. These are, of course, another renter-friendly option because they don't require any drilling. They literally just slide onto your shelf. These, however, don't come with any adhesive, so just be mindful of that because you don't want to put too much on it and have it potentially fall out. They do feel quite secure, but just rather be safe than sorry. But these are some of the things that I might use them for, so putting some extra plates up there, maybe you need to store glasses on them. Something else I thought of is maybe some kitchen tools that are sharp that you don't want kids to be able to reach if you have them, so like a cheese grater, an apple slicer, a pizza cutter, or you could put your kids' dishes up there if you have nowhere else to put them. This is, again, another very versatile product, and I feel like this is a staple if you have a small kitchen. If you are anything like me, then you may have an overabundance of stainless steel bottles. We've collected so many over the years. I feel like they're always the go-to gift from either friends and family or even work anniversaries or a holiday gift from your company. They're just really easy to collect. So I have a couple different ideas for these. One being this really easy to put together bottle organizer. This one comes in either 2 or 3 tiers, so make sure that you check your dimensions before you purchase it to select the right one. But it's adjustable, so you can make it wider or smaller depending on your needs. I showed it to you in the smallest setting, but it does stretch out pretty far. And I like this one for these bottles because it will fit even the larger, taller size ones that my other organizer does not currently fit. So this is a really great option if you also have a ton of these bottles accrued over the years. But my other idea is my existing organizer, which you're seeing on the screen right here. And I like this one because it stacks up and it just looks nice. But the issue I have with it is that it doesn't always fit the larger stainless steel bottles. This undershelf organizer is a great idea. It's meant to go underneath your upper cabinets and hang below to store some frequently used items. It comes with a hook to hold paper towels. It's got a hook to hang a kitchen towel. It's got other hooks to hang maybe some cooking utensils. and it has a shelf as well for storage. Maybe you need a place to store aluminum foil or frequently used ingredients. It was also very, very easy to put together. It comes with everything that you need, so you don't need to worry about grabbing any tools, and it took me like 2 minutes. So unfortunately, my cabinets are just a little bit too thick for me to fit this. So definitely check your dimensions when you're placing an order. But I really wanted to show you guys this one because it's really cool. It's another type of under shelf basket, but this one is meant to go similar to the towel bar. It's meant to go under your cabinet like this. I can't push this in all the way because I don't want to damage my cabinets, but this part right here is just a little bit too thick. This is so cool though because it has hooks on it. You could hang a towel from this. You could hang measuring cups, measuring spoons, utensils. You could store whatever you need up on the top. You could put your utensils up there. You could put knives up there. You could put ingredients that you're grabbing for all the time, and this would save you space on your countertops. So again, really cool. It just doesn't fit in my cabinet for me to give you like a full demo. Our next organization idea is, of course, command hooks. I could not get through a video without talking about command hooks. These are such an inexpensive way to make a big impact in your organization. They're like the ultimate renter-friendly and budget-friendly organization tool. There's just so much you can do with a command hook, and they have so many different sizes that hold so many different weights as well. So whatever it is that you're needing a command hook for, they make one. One thing I love using my command hooks for is storing things on the inside of cabinet doors. So in this case, I'm putting a command hook on the inside of my cabinet that holds like my pots and pans, and then I can store my oven mitts, and that frees up a drawer elsewhere in my kitchen. And then another thing that these are really good for is hanging things like your measuring cups and your measuring spoons. So this is a great way to utilize the inside of your cabinet doors and free up space elsewhere in your kitchen. I saw somebody recently using command hooks on the back wall of their kitchen, like where the backsplash is, and they hung hanging baskets from them for additional storage, and I thought that was genius, so I wanted to include that idea here. I wish I had a picture. I wish I took a screenshot, but I didn't, so just telling you guys that's another idea. But the possibilities are just endless with a command hook, so I wanted to include those in this video. And another thing that I like to do with them is hang things like bibs on the inside of a cabinet door. We have a 1-year-old, and it's just a really easy place to put his bibs, and then I always know where they are when I need them. But I wanted to include a quick tutorial of how to remove these so that you don't damage the surface. You want to slowly pull down on the tab until it pops off, and if you do it slow enough and straight enough, you should not have any damage. But I will say in the past, I have had a little bit of damage from command hooks if I didn't remove them correctly. This is some older footage, but I wanted to include it here because this is another favorite off of Amazon. These are peel and stick organizers that you can use really anywhere, but I like to use them on the inside of my cabinet doors. So in this case, I was putting a couple of them on the inside of my cabinet doors underneath the sink so that I could utilize that door space for additional storage. A really budget-friendly way that you could get kind of the same effect as this is by using a magazine file and some command strips, some Velcro ones that are really strong, and it will do the same thing. It will add storage on the inside of your cabinet door. It's just a little bit cheaper to do it that way, but these are so nice. I like that they come already ready to go with all the adhesives, and they're just really high quality, nice products. So all of the products that I used in today's video are going to be in my Amazon storefront under kitchen organization favorites. So if you're looking for anything that I've talked about today, that is where you're going to find them. Here I'm just showing you a couple of the ways that you could use these. So in this case, I'm putting like aluminum foil and plastic wrap in here. So if you have nowhere else to put these items, this is a good place to put them. But I use them for things like my dish soap and my dish brushes, and it just works perfectly because they're right there under my kitchen sink and easy for me to access. I have shared so many kitchen organization idea videos on my channel, and I'm showing you just a few clips on the screen right now. So if you're looking for more ideas, be sure to search my channel and watch those videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and come back every week for some more organization ideas, and leave me a comment below letting me know which stores you'd like me to shop next for their best organization products. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back again next week for another video. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all things fridge, freezer, and pantry. We are taking everything out, decluttering, cleaning up, and reorganizing. I know this can be such a daunting task. I personally dread it, so if this is something that you need to get done as well, I hope that this video encourages and motivates you to tackle it. You will be so happy that you did. We don't have a walk-in pantry. Ours is quite shallow, but as usual, just a disclaimer, I certainly do not claim to have the smallest kitchen or the smallest pantry, but I aim most of my videos at an audience who is working with a smaller space to help provide ideas and solutions. I have videos organizing multiple different pantry spaces and smaller refrigerators, so if you're looking for those videos, I will have them linked in my description box. But for this video, we are starting out with the fridge. I'm emptying it out most of the way, not all the way, however. I did go through and declutter condiments very recently, so we're not going to be touching that right side door, but pretty much everything else is coming out so we can wipe the fridge down and clean all the bins. Perfect timing as I'm in the middle of filming this disaster behind me. I got a delivery and this is from Factor. Factor is actually sponsoring today's video. So like I said, perfect timing, and thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring. I'm so excited to open this up and see what I got, and then pretty soon I'm going to take my lunch break. I like to try and eat before the baby gets up from his nap, but a lot of the times when he's napping, I'm trying to get a million things done. So sometimes I have a tendency to skip eating lunch altogether, and then I end up eating a whole bunch of junk throughout the day because I'm starving and I'm just not allowing myself the time to sit down and eat something nutritious. So that is why I really like Factor, because they are fresh, never frozen meals that are delivered right to your door. They also have different options depending on your dietary restrictions. I'll kind of share more in a minute about all of that, but I just really enjoy Factor. I was a little skeptical about having pre-made meals delivered to me until I tried Factor, and they are seriously so good. And this is coming from someone who's incredibly picky. Okay, so the meals I got this week, I've got turkey chili mac. I've never tried this before, so I'm really excited to try that. I've got some Indian butter chicken. That's another one I'm new to. I haven't tried it. This one, however, this is a favorite. This is shredded chicken taco bowl. This one is so good. Usually when I place my Factor order, I get like 3 of these because I love them so much. Got some sun-dried tomato chicken. We've got some sour cream and chive chicken. And we have some roasted tomato and feta cavatappi. I might be totally butchering how you're supposed to say that. I also have in here a smoothie variety pack. These are really good. So we've got some strawberry banana, some mango. I haven't checked to see if there's any other flavors in here yet, but these are just so delicious and they're super hydrating with the coconut water. So absolutely love these. I like that these are meals made by chefs. Again, they're fresh, never frozen, and they can be heated up in just a couple of minutes. So it's just really, really convenient, especially when you are running really short on time. I don't know about you guys, but I personally do not enjoy meal prepping. So this is just like honestly the perfect option for me. I don't enjoy all the meal planning, the grocery shopping, and then the cleanup. It's just such a process, and this is just cutting all that out. I'm getting a lot more time back in my day. And like I said, Factor does work with whatever dietary restrictions you have going on in your life. So whether that's keto or you're counting your calories, they have keto options, they have calorie smart options, they have chef's favorites, they offer meat, seafood, and veggie options. If you would like to get started and try Factor, I do have a 40% off code, and that code is Catherine50. I'll leave a link and that code information down below in my description box if you're interested in trying them out. They are seriously so good. And again, this is coming from someone who's a very picky eater. So again, I have a 40% off code if you're interested in trying them out. It's a really good deal. All that information will be in the description box down below. And thank you once again to Factor for sponsoring today's video. Whenever I am decluttering and organizing a space, I always make sure to clean it as well. I would hate to put all of the food items back into the fridge in this kind of a mess, so I make sure to take out bins so I can wash them with soap and water. We are a big cheese family. I feel like we always have a ton of different cheeses. On this day, we actually didn't have that much, and that's because typically when I do clean out my fridge and my pantry, I do it on days where we don't have a lot of food, where I do need to go grocery shopping. It just makes the whole process a little bit easier, and it helps me to know what we already have on hand and what we may need when we stop at the store. But I would love to know if any of you are like us and you have a whole bin just dedicated to cheeses. I feel like our cheese gets one of the biggest bins in our refrigerator, and for some reason I find that funny, but that's the way that my mom always did it as well. So when my husband and I moved in together, we've just always had a bin special for cheese. You'll notice I'm kind of shuffling things around that I did not remove from the fridge, and those are things like yogurts and milk and smoothie pouches and stuff like that that are extra perishable that I didn't want to take out and leave on my countertop for too long, so I was just moving them around in my fridge as I was getting it wiped down. And to wipe down the fridge, I pretty much always use my Dawn Power Wash. I just think that it works the best at breaking down any grime that may be stuck onto the surfaces in your refrigerator. This is definitely one of those tasks that I really dread doing, but it does come with so much reward. I don't know about you guys, but after I have cleaned out my fridge and my pantry and everything is looking organized and fresh and I know all the food is good, it just makes me happy and it feels kind of like a fresh start in a way. These drawer bins are removable, but like I said, I did this fairly recently, so things weren't messy enough that I needed to take these out and wash them in the sink. The method that I found the easiest to declutter, if I can explain this correctly, just bear with me. I like to take everything out of the space, clean it out of course, and then just start putting things back where they belong. Typically, you grab the most important things first, and I find that as I near the end of the items I'm sorting through, those are the things that it's time to let go of. They're the scraps, so to speak. It also makes the process easier for me because I have a tendency to get overwhelmed by the mess around me, and doing this, it just means that there's less mess and it gets put away a lot faster. So next time you're decluttering, maybe try that method and let me know if you found it worked out a little bit better for you. There is something just so satisfying to me about putting everything back into the fridge when it's all clean. We're not a family who uses matching acrylic containers in our refrigerator, and that's not because I don't like that or don't believe it works. It definitely does, and I'm envious of those of you whose refrigerators look like that. It just doesn't function for us in this season of life. With small kids, it's really tough, and that's fine. For now, I just focus on keeping like items together, removing excess packaging that's taking up space, and making it easy for us to find what we're looking for. But as I always say, organization is personal, and you should always do what works best for you and your family, and also your budget. We don't usually have a ton of extra food in our home, as much as I would love to buy in bulk sometimes. We just don't have the storage. Our basement's off limits since we've had mice before. The only storage we have for food is in our kitchen. But the good thing about that is I feel like we have less food waste since we usually only shop for what we need 1 week at a time. There's always going to be some sort of food waste. We're human, things go bad, things get shoved in the back and forgotten about, but we do our best to keep the waste to a minimum, and we make sure to recycle packaging as much as we can. So these are the things that I need to clean out so I can recycle them. We try to recycle as much as possible. So I've got some containers here that had like pepperoni and little meatballs in them that went expired. So I'm gonna clean out those containers. I'm gonna clean out these 2 drinks. Actually, this one was never even opened. I'm gonna see if my husband will drink this, but I probably will not. And then these are pizza sauces that have just been in the fridge for too long. And then these are pretty much empty anyway. They're both cream cheese, but I'm gonna clean out their containers so I can recycle those. This was completely empty this morning, so we've added quite a bit to our recycling, but again, we're big into trying to recycle where we can. So I just wanted to include this in here so you guys can see what's happening, I guess, with any of the food waste or with any of the packaging. I'm not just throwing it in the trash. And this over here is cheeses that have been in the fridge too long. This one expired in early May, and then we've got the moldy cheese right here. And then these are also just expired. This is just empty packaging, but this is expired from April. And here's how the fridge is looking after. It looks so much cleaner and more organized and ready for me to go grocery shopping, since now I had a really good idea of what we have in our inventory. Now we're moving on to the freezer, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know if I've ever fully taken everything out of the freezer and gone through it since we've had this refrigerator. So this was very much needed. I've definitely gone through the items and I've thrown things out when they've gone bad and things like that, but I've never taken every single thing out and gone through each item individually and also cleaned out the freezer. So again, this was just very much needed. Can you tell that I have never done this before? Because there was definitely some mess left behind once I got everything emptied out, and I'm going to pull out the vacuum for this because there's no way that just using a cloth with some Dawn Power Wash is going to pick all of this up. Once the freezer was all wiped down, I started going through everything. I had 2 laundry baskets full of stuff, and I just knew we did not need all of this. We needed to get rid of some stuff that had been in there for a while and was freezer burned or expired. But the reason why I had 3 laundry baskets is because I thought we would have some food that we would bring downstairs into our deep freezer to store down there. So I was just having that basket out and ready so I could bring all that downstairs easily, but we didn't end up having anything that needed to go down there. Like I said earlier, my favorite method to declutter and organize is to just start putting things back as I go, and that just makes me feel a little bit less overwhelmed. So you'll see that I'm kind of going through stuff and then I'm putting things back, and I just continue doing that until all of it is back where it belongs. And here is how the freezer is looking after. I tried to keep like items together, so vegetables in one side, desserts all in one spot, breakfast stuff all in one spot, dinner stuff kind of all in one spot, and just did the best that I could to make it organized, but it's definitely tough in one of these bottom freezers. But now we are going through the pantry. I organized our pantry back in the fall of 2022, I believe, and I've been really happy with the method that I came up with for this pantry. It's worked out well for us, and at this point, we're kind of used to the place of everything, so I didn't need to reorganize it completely, but I did need to go through all the items and just check for anything that's expired, potentially moldy or anything like that, and get rid of those items. Plus, I just wanted to kind of resort the bins a little bit so that I knew they were all exactly where they were supposed to be. I did not take every single thing out of the pantry because, again, our system has been working, so I knew they were just going to end up right back there. But I did take the majority of the things out, and I wanted to make sure to wipe down the shelves. They weren't super dirty, but there was a little bit of crumbs left behind. Now we're just going to start going through things. I have all these bins that I believe I got from TJ Maxx or Home Goods back in the fall, and I labeled them all using my Cricut, and I tried to keep the labels very general, so I have breakfast on them or snacks or dinner, and that just helps me to maintain this organization system because by being general, that means I'm not so limited on what I can put in each of the bins. So in the dinner bin, I can combine rice and macaroni. I don't need two separate bins for rice and macaroni, if you get what I'm saying. So this system has just worked out really well for us, and I also don't have too many bins to the point where you can't fit any of those loose items. I just used whatever made sense for our family without overcomplicating it, and I really, again, like this organization system. It's worked really well for us, and although our pantry can sometimes get a little bit cluttered, it's not because the organization system isn't working. It's because maybe I was too lazy to open up a box, and so we got too much excess packaging, or maybe my 5-year-old went in there and kind of shuffled things around and didn't put things back where they belong. But it definitely has worked for us, and it's been really easy to maintain for the most part. To go through the pantry items, I was doing pretty much the same thing I did in the fridge and the freezer, where I took everything out and I was putting things back as I was going along, but this did require a little bit more sorting and a little bit more going through things on my counter as opposed to putting them back as I go, just because I was using these bins, so I had to sort the bins before I could put them back, if that makes sense. But I was also making a pile for anything that was trash or anything that was recycling as I went along. I don't know what happened here, but my camera got a little bit out of focus for a minute, so just bear with me. It should get better in a minute. Someday, I definitely hope I have a beautiful walk-in pantry, but obviously we're not in that stage of life right now. We're just not quite there yet, but I am so grateful for the pantry that we do have, because if you guys have been following my channel for a while, I lived in a big house. We had actually a decent sized pantry. We never organized it properly, but we did have a decent sized pantry. I moved into an apartment where we had no pantry at all, and I had to get real creative with food storage in there. I have a ton of videos on all of that here on my channel if you're interested. But then we moved into this house and we had a very slim cabinet that had kind of like rolling drawers inside of it as a pantry. Was not a big fan of that, but I did the best that I could. I have a video organizing that as well. But now that we have this tall pantry, although it's shallow, it's just so nice to have this kind of storage for all of our food and to be able to see everything so easily. We have reached the scraps stage where pretty much everything that's left behind is either excess packaging or food that has gone bad or expired that I need to get rid of. I do again feel like our food waste is kept to a minimum, but I don't love sharing things like this on my channel because there's always somebody who's going to comment and say that I'm like single-handedly ruining the planet by having food waste. So if you planned on commenting that, please don't, because I'll just delete it. But anyway, I am getting rid of whatever food was no longer good and making sure to separate out the packaging so I could get that into my recycling. This brown sugar was so old that I was having such a hard time getting it out of the container. It was like a brick. But once we finish getting rid of all the food that is no longer good, I'm going to show you a quick snapshot of how the pantry looked after. So much less clutter. We have way more space, so when we go shopping, we can fit things. And that will be the end of this week's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and it gave you some motivation to go tackle your fridge, freezer, or pantry, or all three if that's what you need to do. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Factor. I have that 40% off code. It's a really good deal and I promise you are going to just love them. Again, thank you for watching and I hope you'll come back again next week for another video. Hey guys, and welcome back for another organization video. This week we are talking all things Target, sharing the best of the best organization products, some ideas for you guys on how to use different things to save and maximize space in your home. Target is one of my favorite places for all things, but their organization section is just great. They have so many different items, bins of all shapes and sizes and for all budgets, made with so many different materials just to suit whatever it is that you're looking to organize. But aside from all their bins, which I'm sure you guys know how to use, they've got some great organization products like shelf risers, Lazy Susans, different shelving systems, and things like that. So we're going to be talking about all the things that I found strolling the organization aisles of Target. Everything will be linked down below, assuming it is available online, so be sure to check there. But if you're looking to organize a space in your small home and you need some ideas, you have come to the right place. I post new organization videos here on my channel every single week, so be sure to subscribe if you're new, and let's just get into it. Here we have our very first organization product of this video. So this is the COPPA 2-tier turntable. I'm a big fan of the COPPA brand. I've been using things from COPPA for years and I was actually purchasing them on Amazon. And this day when I went to Target is the first time I'd ever noticed that they were available in Target in store. This turntable is really easy to put together. It doesn't require any tools. It takes like 20 seconds. And the cool thing about this one is that it's adjustable, so you can adjust it up and down to suit whatever height it is that you need it to be at. You could, of course, store whatever you want on this, but I think this would be perfect in a pantry. And for the sake of demonstration, I'm showing you just putting some baking supplies on there. You guys know that I just love a good turntable, and again, this is a brand that I know and love, and I was so excited to see them in Target, and I'm very happy to support them. So again, anything that I'm using in this video is going to be linked in the description box below if you're looking for it, but this is a very good product available at Target. This was probably one of my favorite things that I found at Target on this day, and this was in the Bullseye's playground section, or the dollar spot as some people call it, but the products are actually between I think $1 and $5 in that section, so it's not really a dollar spot. But this is technically a dessert stand. It was $5. It's all black, it's made of wood. I just think this is so good. I decided to use it next to my stove to put things that I'm always leaving out on my counter, just to kind of rise them up a little bit, make it look a little less cluttered. I just think it adds a little bit of a decorative touch. So you could use this, of course, for anything, but again, for demonstration purposes, I'm showing you what I used it for. I'm putting my Echo Dot on there, some candles that I always have out, my salt, pepper, and olive oil. And a lot of the times when I make these organization videos, I will take down the things that I'm doing because I'm constantly reorganizing, showing you guys new ideas. But this is something that I left up, and that's how you know that I love it. Probably one of my top most requested links on my channel is for this door organizer, and this one in particular is from the Container Store, and this one is like $140 or something like that. I might be wrong, but I think it's around that price. But I recently found this one on the Target website. It's not the exact same brand, but it is the exact same dimensions and the same idea, and it's only $60. So I wanted to tell you guys about it. I'm just showing you some clips from past videos of how I use this organizer. We have one in our linen closet, we have one in my son's bedroom closet, and utilizing the inside of doors is so helpful when you live in a small home and you just don't have a lot of space to work with. So again, because this is such a great deal, I wanted to share this with you guys and just encourage you to check out that link down below. Get this before it's gone, because I saw that it was not available in stores any longer, so I don't know if they're phasing it out. But this is such a great organizer, and you can get it for less than half the price of what you would pay at Container Store. This next organization item is this mini 2-tier organizer. I actually have one of these from this exact same brand, and it's a bigger version of it. So when I saw the mini one, I thought this was a great idea because, again, this video is aimed towards those who live in a small home or are working with a small space. This one is much more narrow than the other one that I have. So if you're trying to organize under your kitchen sink or under your bathroom vanity and you just don't have a lot of space, this might actually work for you. This is another product that is so easy to put together, and it doesn't require any tools. And you guys know that I love to use anything that will utilize vertical space, because if you're working with a small space, you have to find a way to use every single square inch of the real estate that's available to you. So if you're organizing, again, under a bathroom vanity or under your kitchen sink, vertical space is crucial. I wanted to show you guys also what my other organizer looks like that is similar to this one, so you can see the size options that you have available to you. So this is the bigger one. I use this under my bathroom vanity. In this particular video, I was decluttering and organizing under my bathroom vanity. But I really like these 2-tier organizers in particular because they slide out, so it's easy to grab what you need from the back without having to dig around. But also they come with dividers, and something about dividers just makes me feel more organized in general. I wanted to demonstrate for you guys so you can see how this product looks in a space and how I would use it. So I'm putting this under my kitchen sink. In the bottom section, I will put some sponges. I'll also put a scrubbing brush, and then the top section is better for your cleaning products because you're not restricted at the height, having another tier above it. So I'll put my cleaning sprays on top. But again, I really like using vertical space, so I definitely wanted to share this with you guys because this one is narrow and I have not seen anything quite as narrow as this one. This is like the perfect size if you have a very small space to work with under your kitchen sink or your bathroom vanity. This next item we have here also came from Bullseye's Playground, and it's a shelf and it's got some hooks. My idea for this was to put this on the back wall of your kitchen so you could hang things from it and use that shelf, but I was not able to properly demonstrate this because I actually ran out of command strips, so it was literally hanging on by a thread. But if you have plenty of command strips, I would probably put 3 on the back here to support this. Then this would be a great way to use the wall space in your kitchen. But if you don't want to use it for this, this would also be perfect in your entryway to store keys and things that you need when you're running out the door. You guys know that I love using drawer dividers, and I found these adjustable drawer dividers at Target. Unfortunately, these did not work out for me. These didn't fit in either my kitchen drawers or my bedroom drawers. So I wanted to just warn you guys, in case you're looking for something like this, that this probably isn't the one. You might want to check your dimensions. There's definitely better options out there. So unfortunately, this one does not fit in my dresser drawers, so I'm unable to use it. It is an adjustable drawer divider, but this is as small as it gets, and I actually do have quite deep dresser drawers, so definitely check the dimensions before you go ahead and buy something like this if you're planning to use it in either your kitchen cabinets or in your dressers. This doesn't fit in my kitchen cabinets either. It's too tall, so buyer beware. These drawer dividers though from the Bright Room line are so cool. I really liked these, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of different ways that you can use these. I don't know what I was expecting when I opened this package, but what I saw was definitely not it. And I don't know, I really don't know what I was expecting here, but you have to kind of put this together. It's a little bit like a puzzle, but once I figured out the pattern, it wasn't so bad. They just kind of snap in place. It's just a plastic material, but what I really like about this is that it's so versatile, and you could put as many of these pieces together as you want to fit into the space that you need. My first thought for this was to actually organize the inside of your bedroom drawers. So if you've got like a sock and underwear drawer that's out of control, this could be really good for that. So I'm going to show you just me putting some socks in it, because we're close, but we're not quite that close. So I think socks is as far as I'm willing to go here on the internet, but you could put your socks in each of these different sections, or again, you could put your underwear if that's what you want to do, or whatever it is that you're storing in that drawer in your bedroom. But this is an idea. I only put a couple of the pieces in here just, again, for demonstration. But I thought an even better idea for this was to use this for your utility or junk drawer, whatever you want to call it. These little sections are perfect for organizing different things that you would store in that drawer. So, for example, I'm putting some Bluetooth headphones in here, a bunch of our assorted charging ports, got some clothespins, some crazy glue, some batteries, and these sections are just perfect for it. So I wanted to include this idea if you guys needed an organizer for that particular space in your home. This one is pretty obvious, but I decided to include it anyway because I needed one of these and I picked one up on this day, and this is just a sponge holder that suctions onto the inside of your sink. If you have a small space, it's good to get one less thing off of your countertops, and I feel like this might be a little bit less germy than leaving the sponge directly on top of the countertop. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I felt like this was a good idea and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Again, with the turntables, I like this one from Bright Room because it has a couple of different sections in it. It's a nice, sturdy, solid plastic. It's not flimsy at all. And I'm using this to organize inside of our pantry. My son's snack section was looking a little bit out of control, so I decided to use this bin for that, again because it has the different sections in it. So I could put his Rice Krispie treats in one section, his bars in one section. We had some little chocolate banana granola bites, and he can spin it around and see what's available to him, and it just makes it look a little bit more organized, and it's easy for my 5-year-old to find what he's looking for. This right here is an angled drawer tray. This is another thing that I'm a big fan of, and this was a really good price at Target. I think I found this in the bathroom section, but I'm going to use this to organize some of my essential oils that as of right now we're just kind of sitting in a bin in one of my drawers. So I'm emptying that drawer out first of all, and then I wanted to take the stickers off, and I was actually having kind of a hard time. They were sticking really bad and leaving behind a residue, so I decided to try out a little trick that some of you guys over here on YouTube have told me about, and I figured I would share that as well if you're also dealing with this same struggle sometimes, and that is to just heat it up with your hair dryer. So I pulled out my Dyson Airwrap and I heated up the plastic, and they did peel right off with leaving behind like very minimal residue. So this worked out really well, and thank you guys for always sharing your tips and advice with me. But now we're going to go ahead and get this into this very slim drawer here in my kitchen that was housing my essential oils, but I couldn't see what they were. It was kind of tricky to find what I was looking for. So this makes it a lot easier to see what it is that I have and find things that I'm looking for as I need them. You could also use this in your bathroom. Again, I think that's what it's intended for, or you could use it to organize your spices. I shared this Bright Room product in my last video where I was decluttering and organizing our entryway closet. So I wanted to share it again here because this also came from Target and I really, really like it. But there was a little bit of a design flaw in my opinion with this, and that was when I tried to use the included hooks to hang it over the door. It was preventing me from closing the door because there's kind of a shelf on the top with a thick fabric material, and it was just blocking the door frame altogether. So I don't know if that's an issue everybody will have, but that was an issue that I had. So we ended up doing was my husband screwed screws in to the door and we hung it off of that. He put some washers on the end of the screws so that it wouldn't slide off of it. That has worked out perfectly fine for us, but I wanted to just warn you guys, because if you don't want to have to screw into your door in order to hang this up, then you may not want to buy this product in particular. I just like to keep things real and keep things honest over here. But what I love about this particular organizer is that it has a ton of different sections for storage. So it's meant for shoes, but again, there's a shelf on the top so you could store some things up there. But also I was storing other things in this besides shoes. So again, this was in our entryway closet. So I stuck some face masks in case we need them at any point in there. I also stuck my son's goggles for when we go swimming in case we need to grab those as we're running out the door. I even put our cat's harness and leash in there, so you could store all kinds of things in here, not just shoes, and it's utilizing the back of the door space that may otherwise be wasted. Another item that I really like from the Bright Room line is this acrylic organizer. You could use this for anything that you want, but I use mine for my makeup, and it just makes it really easy for me to organize everything out. I try to do one section for eyes, one for face, one for lips. All the different drawers are different sizes, so if you have bigger products that you need to store in there, you should be able to, no problem. I like that it's clear so I can see what is in what section. You could label this if you wanted to, if you felt like being a little bit extra, but I just wanted to share it because it's something I've been using from Target, from the Bright Room line for multiple years now, and I really like. I do all things organization here on my channel, so I do small kitchen organization ideas, bedroom ideas, closet ideas, and bathroom. We've done a full makeover renovation on our bathroom ourselves, and I've shared that over here, as well as a whole bunch of videos on just how to organize a small bathroom, because ours is very, very tiny. So if you're looking for ideas, I just wanted to let you guys know I have those videos here on my channel. Another item that I wanted to just shout out really quickly is this Simple Human shower organizer. This is another product that just utilizes vertical space. It's going to make your life a little bit easier. We have a family of 4 and we only have 1 bathroom, so having this in the corner of our shower is so helpful for organizing all of our things. I hope you guys enjoyed all these Target organization ideas. We love a good trip to Target. I feel like we're there probably at least 2 to 3 times a week, which is bad now that I'm saying it out loud. If you enjoy organization videos and you need some organization ideas for a small space in your home or just for your small home in general, I hope you will subscribe to my channel. I post new organization videos every single week. I've done an Amazon dedicated organization video as well as a Dollar Tree dedicated organization videos so far in this series, so if you missed those videos, I will have them linked down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will come back again next week for another one. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel for another organization video. Today we are taking apart my small entryway closet. We're taking every single thing out of there, going through it all, doing a big declutter. We're cleaning it out, and then we're going to reorganize everything back into the space. I'm sharing some organization tips and tricks along the way, and I hope this video helps to motivate you to tackle some organization project in your own home. Here I'm just sharing some before clips. You can see it was a complete disaster in our entryway. We didn't have enough space to store everything that we needed, and so things were overflowing out into our dining room. It was just a big mess, really needed to be taken apart and reorganized, and I'm going to take you guys along with me on this whole project. Please ignore the mess behind me. I know my house is a disaster. We had a very busy weekend. Also, I'm pretty sure my neighbor is mowing his lawn. Either that or the people across the street. So if you can hear that, I apologize. But we just got back from Target, and then I put the baby down for a nap real quick. We were getting an organizer for today's video. We are going to be completely taking apart the entryway closet and kind of revamping that space for the spring, getting all the winter stuff out of there, reorganizing the whole nine. So that's today's project. But while I was at Target, I picked up these Bellway products, and I wanted to share them with you guys because today's video is actually sponsored by Bellway. I have been using Bellway products off and on since 2020, and fun fact, they were actually one of the first sponsors on my channel. But these products are new to me. They have the Super Fiber Plus greens, and then these are the Super Fiber capsules. And side note, I love that they have capsules now. Sometimes it's just so much more convenient to take a pill than it is to make a drink, so this is a really good option, especially if you're somebody who travels regularly. They also have their just original superfruit, and then they do have a collagen one as well that I really would like to try. So as for the Fiber Plus greens, this is a really good option for me because I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but I just don't get enough greens into my diet. So this has organic kale, spinach, and broccoli, I believe, and then it also has the psyllium husk in it. I'm probably butchering that. A scoop of this will give you a full serving of vegetables as well as 5 grams of fiber. It's also going to help balance your gut. It's going to support your immune system and your recovery, and another thing is that it will help to kind of curb those hunger cravings by keeping you feeling full longer, so therefore you'll eat less calories throughout the day, and it'll just help to keep your weight in check. They have a variety of different bundles on their website, so I will have their website in my description box down below, and if you click that link, that will also get you 25% off your first order at Bellway. Thank you so much to Bellway for sponsoring today's video. I'm really excited to try this greens blend, these capsules, and I would definitely recommend that you guys try them out as well to just give yourselves and your gut a little bit of a boost this spring season. Okay, so this is the organizer that I picked up from Target, and it's by the Bright Room line. I really like that line at Target. They have some good stuff. You guys will see there's kind of a little bit of a hiccup with this one, but we'll deal with that later. So obviously I filmed this on a different day because mom life took over and I just did not get it done on the day that I wanted to, but we are emptying out the closet now. When I do a project like this, I really like to empty the entire space out so I can see exactly what I'm working with, but also because I like to do a clean of the space so that when I put everything back in all organized, it's nice and clean and fresh. This has become kind of a twice a year thing for me. I will organize this closet going into the spring season, and then I'll also organize it again going into the winter season. It's just easy when you have a young family to have things kind of pile up and get out of control, and especially during the winter when you're wearing boots and you're wearing more layers, it's just harder to keep the space organized. So it's always good to go through it at the end of the winter season, especially. And here is just a close-up of why I like to completely empty the space and clean it out before I get to organizing. I definitely don't want to organize everything all nice right into like dirt and everything else that's in there. But this is all the stuff that was in the closet on the floor, so many pairs of shoes. It's crazy. There's only 4 of us in our family, and the baby, he really doesn't have many pairs of shoes, so the rest of us are really the issue and not him. But this is also all of our bins full of hats and gloves, all of our winter coats out on the table. It's so crazy how much stuff can fit into one small space once you take it all out and take a look at it. We added these shelves in, I believe it was last spring, and I stained them because I just thought that it looked nice and I was sick of the all white all the time. So I really like how this closet looks, and this just helps to add lots of shoe storage for us or just storage for other things, but it still wasn't enough shoe storage for us. We don't have a master closet. My son's closet is mostly a place to store his things and his toys, so there just really isn't a place for us to put all of our shoes other than in our entryway closet. So obviously I wanted to declutter a little bit, but I knew that even after I decluttered, there would still be more shoes than what was going to fit on those 3 shelves. So I decided to go ahead and get an organizer that would go over the door so that I could use the door space to organize some shoes. So you guys will see here that I started to hang this organizer over the drawer, and I pretty quickly realized that I think this is honestly a design flaw with this product, because when you hang it over the door, the top has kind of a thick fabric because there's a shelf right at the top, and that gets stuck in your door frame and your door will not close all the way. So this kind of frustrated and derailed me a little bit, because my plan was to go through the shoes first and put things away that I knew we were going to keep, and then put everything else aside to go through after. That's just kind of the way I like to do things when I'm organizing, but I ended up having to do everything completely differently because I could not fit this organizer on the back of the door, and I wasn't sure if I was going to return it or if my husband and I could come up with another way to make it work. I wanted to keep moving despite the hiccup, so I decided to go through the shoes anyway, but I wanted to put them all into pairs and lay them all out in front of me so we could really see how many pairs of shoes we had. And then since my husband was actually home on this day working from home, he was able to go through his own shoes and decide which ones he wanted to keep and which ones he wanted to donate or throw away. My husband has a lot more pairs of shoes than the rest of us. He's definitely a shoe guy. I feel like every time I turn around, he's getting another new pair of shoes, but he is somebody that he likes to work in our yard outside. So he has shoes for working outside. He's got shoes for work. He's got shoes for the gym. And he also has different pairs of shoes depending on which workout he's doing at the gym. He's very into powerlifting. So I guess when you're doing deadlifts and things, you need different types of shoes. So anyway, he's got quite a collection, and I was hoping that he would get rid of maybe a few more pairs than he ended up getting rid of, but he did go through them and get rid of a couple. So at least that's something, and you guys will see we did find a solution in this video for that over the door organizer, so it didn't end up being any issue at all storing the rest of the shoes that we kept. This was when I asked my husband to come over and start going through his pairs of shoes, and I'm just showing you guys how many pairs he has. If we had a master closet, I'm sure this wouldn't be that big of a deal, but in such a small house, it's definitely a challenge to find storage for things like this. So anyway, he went through the shoes, and at this point we had not decided what we were going to do about that organizer. So some of them we were putting aside in a box, others we were putting away into the closet, and then a couple of them we had put aside to get rid of. My husband only wanted to part with 2 pairs of shoes, and you know what? I like these ones, and he only wore them one time, but apparently he doesn't like them. So these shoes and these shoes are gone, and then the rest, they're in this bin, and if we figure out how to make the door organizer work, then we can put them in the closet, but I'm starting to think that maybe that door organizer is a little bit excessive, and I don't know, maybe it's not working for a reason, so probably will not use that one. Maybe I'll return it and find something smaller that we can put on the inside of the door. But these shoes over here are ones that no longer fit Carson, so I'm going to save these ones for when Sutton gets bigger. These ones are in good shape, but the other ones that he has that he's kind of beaten to death, I'm not going to save those for Sutton at that point. I'd just buy him some new shoes, but these ones, like winter boots, those are expensive, so it's good to save those for when Sutton gets a little bit bigger. And now I need to go through all of these coats. We have a winter coat bin, so some of them are just going to go into the bin. Some of them are Carson's old coats that no longer fit him, so again, I'll save those for Sutton. And then anything that does fit Carson, hopefully they'll fit him going into the next winter season, but we shouldn't need them anymore this season. So I'm going to get those put away in the winter coats bin in the basement. And then all of these, I need to figure out matches for gloves, hats that still fit the kids, things like that. So this is going to be kind of a project, but I would like to eliminate the masks bin because we really don't need them very often anymore. And I'm just ready to move on from that chapter in my life. So yeah, we're going to eliminate this bin and just have the hats and the gloves bins. Living in a small home, we definitely have to rotate out our collections of things depending on what the season is. So in this case, I was taking all of the winter coats out and putting them aside so they could go into our winter coats bin, which we store in our basement. I always love this feeling in the springtime when I'm able to get all those winter coats out of there. They're just so bulky, and just replace them with little rain jackets and just light jackets for the spring season. It's just such a nice feeling, especially when we're working with such a small space. It was really starting to stress me out how messy this was, and I'm relieved that this project is finally done. I'm a big fan of bins and labeling bins, so I have these gloves and masks and hat bins that I put together back in spring of 2022, I believe, when we first organized this closet. So I'm going through every single thing in them. There were a lot of gloves that no longer had a pair, so I was able to declutter those things since we must have lost them outside somewhere or at school or something like that. So I was able to go through that bin. I went through the hats bin as well. A lot of them no longer fit the kids, so I was able to put those aside. But then my husband's hats were also in that bin, and since I was trying to eliminate the masks bin, I decided that I was going to take all the masks out of there, put them into a different organizer just in case we ever need them, and then I ended up using one of the bins for my husband's hats. So that way things were separated a little bit and it was just easier for us to find what we're looking for. The reason why I kept the gloves bin out is because some of those gloves are for working outdoors or for doing things that you want to protect your hands. They're not all winter gloves, so I did keep that bin out even though the winter season is over. You guys know I love a good lazy Susan for a small space, and I've had this one in our entryway for a while. I wanted to go through it and just make sure that the sunscreens were all good and up to date and there was nothing that was empty or expired or anything. And then I went ahead and put it back in the closet. At first I was going to put it up high, but then I decided that I wanted it to be kind of at eye level so we could easily grab things from it when we need them instead of having to reach up high. This was really funny to me because I forgot I had this bin up there in the closet. I really couldn't see it because there was just so much stuff, but inside of it was my old purse from when I used to work a 9-to-5 job, and I haven't touched this bag one time since my last day of working at that company. So to go through everything and find all the things that were kept in my bag and I used to use on a daily basis, it felt like I was looking into the life of someone else entirely. It's been so long since I've worked in an office, so it was kind of nostalgic and just interesting to go through this bag. But that being said, I haven't touched any of this stuff or needed any of this stuff in years, so I did go through it just to make sure there wasn't anything like super sentimental or valuable in there, but for the most part, everything else I was able to get rid of, because since I haven't needed it for so long, I'm definitely not going to need it anytime in the future. I don't carry a purse anymore ever. I have my Lululemon belt bag that I bring with me when I'm going out with the kids. I also have a diaper bag backpack that I bring sometimes, but I'm just not a purse person anymore. So you guys will have to let me know, is there still a market for this kind of stuff? Could I sell this Michael Kors bag, or has everybody kind of moved on from carrying a bag? So what we ended up doing with this organizer was I held it up while my husband screwed in some screws into the door, and he also used a washer to kind of block them so that it's not going to fall off of the screws, if that makes sense. But this worked great, and the door was able to close after this, so we were able to use this. I really, really like this organizer, other than the fact that it didn't work the way that it was intended to. It's really nice because it's large, it's got a lot of different compartments, and you can store things in here other than shoes. So you'll see here that I'm putting away mostly shoes into this organizer, but I ended up with so many empty spaces that I could use for other things. Obviously, I'm not intentionally trying to fill up every single space of my home, but it's just good to know that we have this space here, and all of the shoes were able to fit into the closet, and they're not all over my house anymore like they were before. So some of these compartments I used for things like, we have a cat harness and a leash that I had nowhere else to put, and then our masks in case we need them at some point instead of keeping them in that bin. I also stored like my son's goggles for when we take him to the pool. So it was just really nice to have a place to put those things, because otherwise we really don't have a space in our home for them. We also recently hung up this shelf, which you can see to the left of the door, and that's a shelf that my dad and I built together in 2020, and I really like to have that by the door because sometimes it's just easier to walk over and hang a sweatshirt or a jacket, something that we're grabbing every single day, from a hook than it is to grab a coat hanger and get it hung up into the closet. And I was finding that we were kind of using our dining room table as a closet because we were too lazy to go put them into the closet, so it's just much easier sometimes to use those hooks, and we've definitely found it to be helpful for us on keeping down the clutter on the table. But now I wanted to do another vacuum because obviously taking all the shoes out of the closet, there was dirt and stuff on them, so my floors were kind of messy, and just wanted to quickly clean them up, and then I will show you guys the super satisfying before and after. So one more time to remind you of what this situation was looking like before. We just did not have enough space for all of our shoes and our jackets. Things were overflowing in the closet. It was becoming impossible to find anything, and we were also having a tendency to put things on our dining room table that really did belong in this closet. So again, just a reminder of what we started with, and now I'm going to show the after. Things are looking so much better. We have a space for everything. The things that we may need as we're running out the door are right there, available to us, easy to see. And the best part is it's all cleaned out and ready for the spring season. I just love a fresh start in the spring. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some inspiration or some ideas for some spring cleaning and organizing in your home. I post new organization videos every single week here on my channel, so if you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and come back every single Wednesday for another video. I also do have a cleaning channel that is separate from this one, and that one is Elaine Cleaning. So if you're interested, come follow me over there. Thank you so much for watching. Another big thank you to Bellway for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link in my description box down below to save 25% on your first order at Bellway. And I hope I'll see you again next week for another video. So the first room that we're starting off in is Carson's bedroom. He has this storage unit here, which I would really like to eliminate. And I think we can do that because he also has a closet storage system right here. And he's really not using any of the toys that are in any of these drawers. And some of these drawers are actually empty. So I'm thinking that anything that he does still use that's in these storage units, I'm going to put into this storage unit in the closet, and then anything else that he's no longer using I'm going to put into these bins that I got from Target, and those will go into the playroom downstairs. This week we have tons of decluttering and organizing to do. This was a project that really needed to be done, but I kept putting it off because it seemed so daunting. So we're focusing mainly on Carson's closet, these drawers, and our playroom downstairs. But we will also be decluttering our entryway cabinet. Decluttering can be so hard because especially with kids things, a lot holds sentimental value, but if you need a friend to help you get through it today, I hope that this video gives you all the motivation and support that you need to get it done. Before we get too far into today's video, I wanted to let you guys know that this video is in collaboration with my friend Megan from the channel Loving Life as Megan. If you are living under a rock and you don't know who Megan is, she shares cleaning, decluttering, and organizing motivation on her channel, along with some of the best DIY makeover videos on YouTube. She recently shared an entire budget kitchen makeover series featuring DIY butcher block countertops, which is so cool, and it turned out absolutely stunning. She's also a mom to two adorable little girls and lives in a small home as well, so her videos are super relatable and helpful if you live in a small space. I have known Megan since I think early 2020, and it's been such a privilege to know her and be her friend. She's a real gem over here on YouTube, and I know you guys will love her channel. This week she is sharing some decluttering motivation as well, going through odds and ends, so be sure to watch her video. I will have all her links in my description, and leave her a comment telling her you came from my channel. I went through each and every drawer and picked up every item, decided whether or not it was something to keep, and in that case I was sticking everything in categorized piles, or if I decided we weren't keeping it, it went into a laundry basket for me to sort through later and determine what was donatable or what was trash or recycling. But I wanted to take a second here to introduce myself in case you're new coming over here from Megan's channel. So my name is Catherine. I am a mom to two little boys. One is 5 and he's in kindergarten, and the other one just turned 1 in January. When I'm not busy doing all the mom things, I love to make videos about cleaning and organizing. I started my channel as honestly just a hobby back when I was working a full-time job, and over the years it has become my job and I absolutely love it. I couldn't think of anything I would rather do than provide motivation and organization ideas and be home with my kids. We bought our house in June of 2021 and we've renovated a big chunk of it. I've documented the whole process here on my channel, so if you're interested in that, you can find those videos, but I'm mostly known for my small space organization ideas. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love for you to stick around and subscribe because I post a new video every week. I have been watching so many like ASMR cleaning and organizing videos lately, so you guys will have to let me know if you like that. I decided to include a little bit of that here as I start going through Carson's drawers. And if you're wondering where the drawer system is from in his closet, it is from IKEA, and I will try to link it below if I remember, but if I don't, just remind me in the comments. At this point, all of the closet drawers were empty as well as the drawers in this storage system, so I was just getting everything sorted either into bins to be packed up and stored away or thrown into the laundry basket that I was using to just keep everything together that I was planning to declutter. I really went back and forth about this smasher stuff for a while. You guys might have noticed while you were watching, but I ultimately decided that this giant skull egg head needed to go because it's just massive and I feel like Carson probably won't notice. So my plan for the smashers, because he doesn't honestly use them very often right now, is to put them downstairs in the playroom, and if a couple of months go by and he's not said anything, I'm definitely going to be getting rid of them. So we will give these a chance, see if he sparks an interest in them again. but if he doesn't in the next few months, then they are definitely out of here. I kind of sorted them. These are all the little pieces, these are all the egg pieces, and then these are all like the actual figures that the eggs come with. So guess we'll see about that. But I am also planning to label all of these bins and put them downstairs nice and organized. The reason why I'm keeping this much is because we have another little boy and he's only 1, so I really don't know what his interests are going to be, but I feel like there's a pretty good chance that he'll also be into Paw Patrol and Dino Trucks and Ninja Turtles and like fish and sharks and things like that. So I don't want to get rid of these because then I'll end up just having to purchase them again. So these are going to go downstairs, and the rest of this stuff is pretty much trial right now. We'll see if he notices, and if a few months go by and he's not mentioned them, then I'd say we're safe to get rid of them. This bin right here is everything that I'm definitely getting rid of. So things that he never uses, things that are broken, things that are doubles. So all of this is definitely getting decluttered, and this is definitely getting decluttered, which I'm so happy about because his room is just too small and it's quite unsightly with the all the bins being so misshapen. So I'm definitely excited to get this out of here. Before I headed downstairs, I wanted to quickly put a cord cover over these cords that were dangling down from Carson's TV. So this is just one of those things that's a really small thing, but it makes a big impact to just keep these cords concealed and not have them just dangling all over the place. But before I get the question about why my 5-year-old has a TV, it's because we only have one other TV in our living room, and every once in a while Carson wants to go watch his own thing and doesn't want to watch whatever it is my husband has on, or maybe that his little brother has on. I am so out of breath from carrying everything up and down the stairs, but this is how his room is looking, and yes, it's a mess. I do need to clean it. He actually cleaned it this weekend and he did such a good job cleaning it all by himself, but today's Wednesday, so of course things are kind of messy again. But yeah, this is where we're at. All those drawers are empty in his closet, so I do need to organize those, but I think I'm going to ask him what he wants to go in each of those drawers. So I'm going to wait for him to get home, and then at some point I do want to come back for this door here and go through all these bins. But yeah, this is good progress so far, and now we're going to change the scenery and head down into our playroom. It is cold down here, so I am plugging in this heater. This little playroom was not originally part of our house. We had this finished last spring, I believe it was, and it's just been such a wonderful addition to our home to have a hub for all of the toys to go. You guys might remember from when we first moved into this house, but toys were everywhere. They were all over the living room, they were all over the floor, they were all over Carson's room. It was a constant battle, and ever since we had this playroom finished, it's been a night and day difference. We have somewhere to put all the toys back. We can do kind of a toy rotation system between the playroom and the upstairs. It's just made such a huge difference, and it's a nice change of scenery for us every once in a while. We don't come down here every single day, but when we do, it's almost like they're brand new toys because Carson hasn't seen them in so long. And especially to Sutton, he comes down here and it's like a wonderland. He doesn't even know what to do with himself because he never sees this many toys all in one place. We do have a lot of toys, but we have 2 kids, we have 2 boys, and I do want to, again, I think I said this earlier, but I want to keep some of these things because I assume that Sutton is going to be interested in some of these things when he gets bigger. So I'm not ready to fully declutter all of our toys, but I did do a massive declutter today, which you guys will see when I show you how much stuff I was able to get rid of. In order to kind of effectively declutter this room, I was going bin by bin,
going through every single item in the bin. I was putting things into categories, so dinosaurs went together, Paw Patrol went together, Ninja Turtles went together, so on and so forth. And I just wanted to keep them all in their categories so I could take a good look at what we had and then figure out what out of those categories was something that we could declutter.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if
I think as moms, or as parents in general, really, we carry such a crazy mental load around all the time. There's always so much on our minds, things that we need to remember, things that we need to do for our kids. And one thing that I've found that's really helped me with that mental load is having a clean and organized space. So that means that I declutter pretty frequently and I try to stay on top of it. Because back when our house was a huge mess all the time before we had this hub for all the toys, I found myself constantly stressed by the mess. It was just too much. And I'm really lucky that we have this space that we can put the toys, but if we didn't and my house was still such a mess with toys all over the floor all the time, at that point I would need to protect my peace a little bit and be a lot more ruthless about what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of. So I just want to say, if you constantly find yourself stressed over mess in your home, then likely that means that it's time to do a big declutter, because again, the less stuff you have, the less mess you're able to make and the easier it is to maintain and clean your home. So again, it's really hard. I know it's hard. It's hard to declutter their clothes. It's hard to declutter their toys, but it is necessary in order to protect your peace and the peace of the people living in your home.
you can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
So at this point, it was time to start organizing inside the closet in the playroom, and I found a spider, and it was kind of a big deal for me on this day, so I'm leaving the clips in because I thought they were kind of funny. But yeah, it was not so funny in the moment, but looking back on it now, it was kind of funny. I know it doesn't look like much on camera, but this might actually be the biggest spider I have ever seen, which is probably laughable to some of you, but look at this thing. What is that? And how did it get in here? I used my husband's vacuum, like his hand vac for this, and it's in there. I could see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope nobody has like arachnophobia. Is that what it's called? But now I don't know what to do, and I'm just gonna leave it in there for my husband, and maybe I'll put it outside. I'm gonna put it outside. Now that the spider was taken care of, we're going to work on organizing that closet like I was trying to do before he rudely interrupted what I was doing.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're up in space. You're inside the noise. I can feel you. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your destination.
I literally cannot put my hand in this to find out what's in it after that spider. Every single thing that I touch now, I feel like I'm panicking. I'm so jumpy. I don't even know. I just need to wear like a full body suit, I think, at this point to get this done.
Something that you won't let go. I'll be your high when you fall down low. I hope I'll be your destination. You're gone now, but you're coming back. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. I hope I'll be your destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing
So this is everything that I am decluttering from in here and in Carson's room. So this laundry basket is completely full and overflowing. This stuff is either broken or it's a duplicate or it's something that he hasn't touched in so long he's not going to notice that it's gone. So I feel really good about this. I will further sort everything for things that could be donated, things that are just trash, and go from there. But this is just the roundup for you guys to see everything I was able to declutter today. That pool is actually going upstairs. I'm going to put that in our shed, and I don't know what we're going to do with this stand here. It's just so dangerous. It's like a heavy wood, and it's just kind of dangerous with the kids. It's really sharp on the edges too, so I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. But the rest of this is all being decluttered, which is so amazing.
Here's just an overview of how the closet was looking after I went through it all and got it all organized into categories. Again, we do have another little boy who's probably going to like a lot of these things when he gets older, so I'm just keeping them there for him. And now we're going to do some vacuuming in the playroom really quickly because it definitely needed it.
You give me this energy. It is like you set me free. Chasing highs to stay alive. But if I'm with you, I'll survive. So hold me close into the night, 'cause I need you to stay.
There's obviously more cleaning and decluttering that I need to do down here, but the baby monitor just died, so I have to go upstairs.
I had found a bin of seasonal books, and I have a seasonal book section in Carson's bookcase, so I brought those upstairs to put in his room.
A simple question, can I get closer? Just for motivation. Can I be around you for motivation? Just a little while. A simple question, can I get closer?
So the next area that we are dealing with is this cabinet right when you walk in our front door. And I want to declutter it because first of all, it's a mess, but second of all, I want to be able to fit our little filing cabinet inside of this cabinet. So just show you guys what we're working with here. It's pretty bad. So we've got a bunch of Christmas plates. I've got random folders and papers. I've got extra organization stuff that I just don't need to keep up here. And then over here, this is like my technology cabinet slash random stuff cabinet. So we're going to completely empty this out and go through it all and just get this working a little bit better.
The easiest way for me to go about doing this declutter was to empty everything out of the cabinet, get it all out in front of me where I could see it, and then go through it all. Sometimes when I'm decluttering, I like to use the method where I will empty the cabinet or the space out entirely, I'll wipe it down, and then I will just start putting things back, and the things that I grab first to put back are usually the important things. And then as I get to the end and I'm looking at what I've left behind, I start to realize what might not be so important and what I'm able to declutter. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's just one of the methods I like to use when I'm trying to do a project like this.
I would never try to fool ya. I'm one heartbeat away from going mad. Girl, when you look like that, Closer, closer, I'ma get closer to you. Yeah, got me, baby, got me hooked on you once again. Girl, I need you. How many times do I wanna yell? 'Cause we could be so complete. Baby, I'll never want anyone new. I was on the bed and you undressed. Baby, when I pulled you in and felt your breath, then I knew the girl I need you. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Smiling like that.
So I am going to keep the Christmas plates up here just because I don't really have a good place to put them downstairs with all the Christmas decor, and I don't want them to get broken. So I feel like it's just easier if that stuff is up here. But otherwise, all I put back were the things that I grab all the time. So that's my mic for YouTube, one of my other cameras, and then I have, this is just full of cords and batteries and things related to YouTube, my iPad, and then I have a power strip in here that runs, we cut a hole in the back so it could run through here when I need to charge my laptop somewhere. I just put it in here. So this is definitely a lot better. And then on this side I was able to fit our filing cabinet, and then those are just a bunch of picture books that I have made for the kids every 6 months. So they're all in there safe. Their most recent ones are up top. But yeah, this is looking a lot better. So these books I'm going to try to sell on Facebook Marketplace. I did not like this series. I feel like a lot of people loved it. I got like that much full or that much through it, and then I just stopped because I just had no interest in finishing it. And then this book I never even opened to read it. I ended up getting a Kindle with Kindle Unlimited, so I just don't really reach for like a regular book anymore. These I'm going to put downstairs for whenever we get Sutton's baptism done. We still haven't done that, so we got to get that done. And then we'll put his picture in here. And then I'll just put this downstairs as an extra picture frame. And then this is all trash that's going to be decluttered. These are Carson's school papers that I need to go through. And then this is an old accordion folder that I don't think has anything important in it, so I'm going to go through that as well. And then that's going to go in Carson's room. These are extra organizers that can go downstairs. These lids are from, actually they're from when we were getting our kitchen renovations done. We were using that cabinet as pretty much our pantry, and we were using a lot of plastic at that time, so we still have these left over. So those, I don't know what to do with them, honestly. We're going to use them for something, but yeah, everything else pretty much is either going to be decluttered or put down in the basement where its like items are, so it's not just taking up space in this cabinet anymore. But this bird feeder is going to go outside now that it's starting to be spring weather. I think Carson did this back in like the beginning of winter, and it's just been sitting in the cabinet waiting for spring.
Now we are going to clear off this table. A lot of this was being decluttered, but some of it just needed to be put back where it actually belongs. And then we're going to end this video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one and it gave you tons of decluttering motivation. I also want to say a big thank you to Megan for collaborating with me on this video, and thank you to any of you who came over from her channel to check out my video today. I post every single week, so if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and I hope that you will come back again next week for another video.
Smiling like that, I could never resist it.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel for some decluttering and organizing motivation. I have been on kind of a journey this year decluttering and organizing my older son's bedroom. As he gets older and his interests change, I've got to keep going in there and swapping things around and getting rid of things. So that is what we are focusing on again today. So far this year, I have decluttered his wardrobe. I've gone through all of the toys that were in his room, emptied most of them out since he's no longer playing with most of them, and taken out bulky furniture pieces that we didn't need anymore. So his room is rather small, but with all the work that we've done, it's starting to feel bigger. If you are looking for organizing ideas and organizing motivation, then you've come to the right place because I post new organizing and decluttering videos every single week here on my channel. So if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe and also hit your notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Today, I'm taking you along on the whole journey of decluttering and organizing my son's bedroom. I think this is the final part to this series, at least for now. I'm sure there's more I'll have to do in the future, but I feel like we finally reached a really good place for his room. It's taken quite some time, but again, I think we're finally in a good place. So we're starting off by tidying up his room. I feel like I can't really get into the project until his room is generally tidied and things are kind of put together in categories, or at least where they usually go. This drawer underneath Carson's bed collects dust and cat fur so quickly, so I wanted to empty it out and vacuum it out and then also go through everything that was being stored in there. Carson is very into collecting sports cards, so I knew I wanted to put the things back in there that were sport card related for him, but then there were a bunch of papers that I wanted to go through and figure out what was trash or what we needed to keep. If it were up to Carson, I would keep every single one of his drawings that he's ever done, but I try to be mindful because he draws so much that we physically cannot keep all of them. So I go through them, try and find the ones that I think he'd be the most upset about if I got rid of, the ones that are really good, and put those aside. And then any of like the doubles or the ones that are barely colored, I will go ahead and get rid of those because he probably is not going to notice. I organized this bookshelf in a previous video where I was going through Carson's room, and it's worked out really well for us. Everything is in a category in all of these different squares on the bookshelf, but things were getting a little bit unorganized, so I just wanted to quickly go through all the books and make sure they were in their right spots. For the most part, they were fine, but it just needed a little bit of tidying up. I really like this bookshelf for a small space. I think it utilizes the space really well. This one came from Target, and I will have it linked in my description box if you are interested. Now we're going to go through and declutter the surface of his bookcase. A lot of this just needed to be put back where it belongs, but some of it was trash. One thing that I really wanted to do was help Carson come up with an organization system for his sports cards. So he asked me to remove all of the stickers from these drawers that were in his closet so that we could replace them with the correct labels. And we're going to work together actually to organize all of his cards. It was really important to me that I involved Carson in this process for a couple of reasons, but probably the number one reason is that this is his bedroom and I want to make sure that he's happy with it and that he likes where everything is going. At the end of the day, his room is not meant to be aesthetically pleasing. It's a almost 6-year-old boy's bedroom, and this is his space in our home, and I just want to make sure that he is happy with his space. But before we could work on that project together, he was at school when I was filming this portion, so I just wanted to finish going through the closet and then vacuum out all of the drawers so they were clean and ready for him to organize his cards. The majority of the things on Carson's bed were things that I was decluttering, so I'm just going through that to officially decide what we're getting rid of or what just needs to be put away. Now I'm just going to quickly mop and vacuum the floors so that they are clean. They were just looking a little bit rough after pulling everything out of all of the drawers in his room. When Carson got home from school, we started organizing all of his cards together. So I found that I had a bunch of bamboo organizers left over from a kitchen organization video, and they fit perfectly into these drawers. They're adjustable, so it just worked out great, and he was really excited about doing this. So what we did was I took out a notepad and we just wrote what he wanted in each drawer. He came up with all the labels himself, and I just stuck them on the drawers so that I knew where everything was going to go. And then I'm actually going to pull out my Cricut Joy to make new labels the next day. But this is what all of his drawers were looking like. He worked really hard on this, and he's been so happy with having everything organized out and in categories. I don't know how long you guys have been watching my channel, but it's still so crazy to me that when I first started YouTube, Carson was pretty much a baby. He was still in a crib, and now here we are organizing his big boy bedroom and organizing all of his sports cards. It's just so wild how fast time flies. And I never really show him in my videos anymore because I am usually filming when he's at school. So if you've missed seeing Carson, here he is. He's a big boy now. It's so crazy. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys that he was involved in this process and how well he did at organizing all of his cards. Now I'm pulling out my Cricut Joy so that we can make labels for all the drawers in his closets. I've talked about my Cricut Joy a million times. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about it, but it's still just my favorite organization product. I love that I can make labels so quickly and easily just using my phone. I just use the Cricut Joy app. They have a quick labels option, and it takes like 5 minutes of your time, and you get professional, nice quality labels. I especially like the writable vinyl for labels because they're just easier to me than cutting out each individual letter and then having to use transfer tape and all that. This just cuts out quite a few steps by doing it this way. So yeah, highly recommend the Cricut Joy. It's my favorite when it comes to organizing, and I always have it linked in my Amazon storefront, which is in the description box of my videos. If you're really intimidated by a Cricut machine, this is a really good place to start because it's very user-friendly and easy, and it's a lot more affordable. Now we're going to take all of these post-it notes off of the drawers and put our stickers on. Carson picked again what he wanted for each label. So he's got a special drawer just for Tom Brady. He's got a basketball drawer, a football drawer. He even has one that says for sale because him and his dad like to try and sell cards that they don't really enjoy on eBay. Now it is time for some laundry motivation. I had really been bad about folding laundry for a couple of weeks. I'm ashamed to say it. It's just who I am as a person, but I'm going to tackle it today, and we're going to organize all of Carson's drawers. Like I said earlier, I did a wardrobe declutter for him, so there really wasn't much that I needed to get rid of when I was folding all this laundry. But I did want to organize all of his drawers nicely, and I figured that I would include that motivation in today's video. Since filming this video, we have done a little bit of decorating in Carson's room as well. We got him a display case for all of his favorite sports cards, and of course he picked all Tom Brady cards to go in there, so that was kind of funny. But that's hanging on his wall, and then I also made him some shelves. I don't know if you guys have been watching my channel since he was a baby, but I used to have shelves in his room that we had stained the wood, and we had pipes that we used to hang the shelf, like brackets. And I loved those, but then we moved into our apartment and I just never hung them up, but I've kept them all this time, and I finally decided that I wanted to get that done. So we stained a new set of shelves since his old ones were a little bit too dark, but we kept the piping and everything else and we hung them up, and they look so good, and I'm just absolutely obsessed with them, and I'm really happy that I finally got around to doing that. I am folding all of Carson's clothes using the filing method. This is my preferred method of folding. I like the way it looks in the drawers, and when you open the drawer and you can see everything without digging around. I really like that, but I don't always do it. Sometimes I just don't have the time to fold everything just so perfectly. If you are wondering where the heck all my cleaning videos have gone and why I've been posting only organizing and decluttering on this channel, it's because I recently started a second channel just for cleaning. The YouTube algorithm kind of pushed me to do this, so I'm just seeing how it goes. And if you haven't seen that new channel, I will have it linked in my description box down below. There's already like 5 or 6 videos over there, so if you missed them, be sure to catch up. Now we're going to get started on putting everything away into his drawers. So starting with his pajama drawer, there were a few pairs that were unfolded and just laying in there that I wanted to fix up and then get the rest put away. I had to fix pretty much every single drawer as I was going because it had been a while since I had done this, so things were definitely a little bit unorganized, and also there just wasn't enough clothes in the drawers to keep them all standing up. I would love to know in the comments how long you have kept clothes in the trunk of your car that you meant to donate, because I think I've had a bag of clothes in the back of my car we're probably approaching a year now that it's been sitting in there, and I have not donated it yet, so please let me know that I'm not alone. I had to pick up Carson some new socks this day because, as usual, we had no socks left, and the ones that we did have left had massive holes in them. I've tried every different brand for socks and they all end up looking like this. Like, look at how bad this is. They all get ripped up, and I've heard that it could be the LVP flooring we have through the house that for some reason wears down the socks, but it's crazy. So I had to buy him a whole new pack once again. And now we are going to go through his closet and do some more decluttering. These drawers on the back of the door came from the Container Store, but they do sell something very similar. It has the exact same dimensions as this one at Target, and it's like half the price. It was $60, and then I think a whole bunch of you went out and bought it when I mentioned it in my last video, and Target raised the price to $75 last I checked. So I will leave that linked down below if it's still in stock, but it is a great deal because it is a lot less expensive than the one at the Container Store. Now that we've gone through all of the bins in his closet, I'm going to take things off of his dresser that have just been kind of taking up space and put them in that organization system since there wasn't much in it. And I'm also going to go through his art cart. We got this art cart from Michael's. It was actually a pretty good deal. I can't remember how much I paid for it now, but it's great for storing all of his art supplies. It does, however, get a little bit out of control as time goes on, so I'm just taking everything out of it so I can organize it and put everything back where it belongs and get rid of anything that we no longer need. We used to store this in our kitchen. We have a closet next to our fridge that it fit in perfectly, but I felt like we really needed that storage space for other things in our kitchen. So I've recently started keeping this in Carson's room, and it fits perfectly kind of in the corner next to his dresser. And I've also noticed that ever since I put it into his room, when I get up in the morning, he's already up and he's coloring in his room, and I just think that's really cute. It's also helped to cut down on the clutter that's on our kitchen island all the time. He does still bring things out to color out there, which I prefer. I don't want him just trapped in his room all day coloring by himself. I'd so much rather he comes out and joins the family and colors at the island. But just keeping these things in his room has definitely helped to cut down on how much is on our island all the time. Now I'm just breaking out my Tinco again to try and clean this area out. It was a little bit dusty, and then super random, but I wanted to update his Melissa and Doug calendar that he keeps in that corner. He hadn't updated it in a while. It was still in like April and the weather said it was cold, and so I just wanted to update it for him. Now that we've gotten most of the excess clutter off of his dresser and off of the surfaces in his room, I'm going to arrange his dresser to just look a little bit cuter and also wipe it down. And now on his dresser is the next round of things that I needed to get rid of. I was able to declutter so much out of his room. It feels like such a breath of fresh air. But now, speaking of fresh air, I noticed that his window tracks were very dirty, especially in this window. So I wanted to try and clean them out. I tried using my husband's hand vacuum to just get some of the dirt out initially, but it really didn't do much. You can see here it was very, very dirty. It was gross. So I decided to pull out my Bissell Steam Shot. I actually tried using the Steam Shot very recently to clean the window tracks in my kitchen, and I made a reel about that over on my Instagram. If you're not following me over there, I always have that on the screen at some point in my videos and also in my description box. Anyway, I tried to use it on my window tracks in my kitchen, and I felt like it was not doing much that day. But I thought maybe I just did something wrong. I don't know, I was hoping it would work better today. So I tried it again, and while I do think this helps to just loosen up some of the dirt particles, it really doesn't do all that much, in my opinion. I don't know if maybe mine's just broken or if I'm doing something wrong, like I said, but it wasn't really helping all that much, and if anything, it was just kind of spraying dirt all over the room. So I kept kind of going back and forth between using my multi-purpose cleaner and a towel to wipe it down and then trying the steam shot again. But overall, the steam shot really didn't do what I was hoping that it was going to do. It didn't make this process really all that much easier. I would say again that it helped just kind of like loosen up the dirt particles, but I was a little bit underwhelmed. I spent a while cleaning this and it still doesn't come out perfect, which you'll see in a minute, but I did the best that I could. I don't really like putting my fingers into like the crevices of the window tracks in case there's like, I don't know, spiders or some kind of gross bug or something. So I didn't really get in there as well as I was hoping that I would. But again, I did the best that I could, and you'll see in a second it does look a lot better, but it's not perfect. This is the mess that it left behind. Like I said, it kind of just sprayed dirt all over the place using the steam shot. So again, I pulled out my Tenco wet dry vac to clean up the floors. And then once the floors are clean, I'm just going to show you guys some afters, how the room is looking after doing all the decluttering. It always feels so good to get the extra clutter out of our home. I know Carson is very happy that all of the things that he wants are in his room and all of the things that he doesn't want are no longer in his room. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some motivation to tackle an organization or a decluttering project around your own home. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new and turn your notification bells on so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back again next week for another video.